Happy Friday, everybody. It is Chamber Check-In time, and today I am so excited to share our newest Senior Associate Athletic Director for Boise State. I got Cody Gogler here with us. Hi, Cody.
Paul, good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. Really appreciate you taking the time to give us a chance to connect today.
Oh my gosh. I spent about 15 minutes with you on the phone last week, and I'm so excited to share. So excited for you to be a part of Boise State University. And today, share a little bit about your work history and some future plans for Boise State Athletics. We got such a great program and well known, and welcome to Boise, Cody.
Thank you so much. And I can't tell you, just as a person that grew up in East Texas, a long ways away from here, but obviously loving sports my entire life, the fact that I look out my window right here and I see the blue turf every day. It's a dream come true. It's a wonderful place. Would like to thank the Chamber community, our business community, everything that you're doing here for the city of Boise and allowing this incredible university who's continuing to grow and innovate, just for us to be a part of this today and be a part of this community special. So thank you very much.
Hey, before we dive in, and thank you for those nice comments, I get to thank our series sponsor for these check-ins, Cody. It's Delta Dental of Idaho, and they're Idaho's premier dental insurance benefits company. They provide high-class, best-in-class benefits that are designed and backed by the largest network of dentists in the country. And with that, I'm going to show a short clip from their Truth series. Here we go.
Did you know that 20% of patients wear braces between the ages of 20 and 60? Looking good, adult peeps.
Cody, all three of my kids are through braces right now, and oh my gosh, so much fun. Anyway.
Well, if you have any recommendations for, the dental community, my wife and I are still new. We're still trying to figure that out. So we may have to connect on the back end of this phone call.
That's awesome. Well, Cody, tell us a little bit about your work history and how you landed at Boise State.
It's a great question. And thank you again for just giving me the opportunity to share. And, I think my journey is probably no different than others. It's always been on the heels of having really good people in your corner, people that look out for you, kind of being in the right place at the right time, and just really taking every opportunity for what it is. And so in a very short summary, I played baseball way down south near New Orleans at Southeastern Louisiana University. It was a special time. And, my college baseball coach, he became the athletic director there. And that was the initial connection after I had graduated and gone on to grad school, to get introduced into some opportunities within the athletics department. And the majority of my career, Paul, has been predominantly focused in the relationship building component of the athletics department. So development, revenue generation, and really just getting to know people for who they are, and then trying to find out where their affinity may lie to support whichever particular athletics department I've had the opportunity to work for. And so I did a short stint at Southeastern Louisiana. I was probably not as good of an employee as I was as a baseball player. So my boss, who used to be my former coach, said it's probably time for you to try to expand your horizons. If you have a dream to become an AD one day, you really need to go see what else is out there. And I appreciate that about him. And so I was very blessed and fortunate to get a few years in at the United States Air Force Academy and their development office. And that was a great opportunity to grow. And it's where I met my future wife, my wife, Kelsey, who's a first grade teacher here in the West Ada School District, and really enjoying that. So, and then was really fortunate to go home for 4 years and work at Baylor University, which was such an awesome time to be near my family again. We had just so many success stories that were celebrated through those 4 years, and learned a lot about what it means to be a servant leader for others. And then ultimately, Paul, Jeremiah Dickey, who is the athletic director here at Boise State, we were aligned and connected together at Baylor. And when he got this job, after a few months, we started having conversations about what the dream could look like here. And here we are today having a conversation. And I'm so glad that we made the choice to join this community.
Hey, I just want to say a little bit about your baseball stuff. I was looking at your stats, and I noticed that you were ranked number one on hit by pitch.
Yes, part of the blue collar mentality is you got to be tough, Paul. And so I think that ties into Boise State. And we had a rule on our team that we were not going to be intimidated by the pitcher, and we were not going to move our feet. So
Oh my gosh.
we got a few bumps and bruises probably still from all those hit by pitches.
I love that stat, among others. Maybe you should come down and go down to the Jack Acre with me here soon and help discuss that and motivate some of our kids.
Happy to do it. Happy to do it.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the What's Next initiative that I read on your guys' website.
Yeah, no, thank you. The What's Next initiative, when we look at Boise State University, when we look at the athletics department, my goodness, what success this university has had in such a short amount of time. And from the day specifically as an athletics department, when you look at being a junior college and then coming into the Division I landscape and then transitioning to the Mountain West Conference, which we've only been in the Mountain West Conference for about a decade, we've accomplished so much. And really have that national brand that we can cherish and also hold ourselves accountable for upholding. And with that, we always want to make sure that we're honoring our past. And it was very important for Jeremiah as we came here and we built out our blueprint for success and aligned with the university's mission to honor that past, but we have to continue that innovative forward thinking, that blue turf thinking. And so the What's Next initiative really revolves around 4 key areas that we believe are going to elevate this department to align us with some of the top universities in the country so that we're competitive. We can continue to recruit elite student athletes, but more so than that, we can change lives while they're here. And so our 4 pillars within the What's Next initiative, they really fall within infrastructure, which we believe within infrastructure are our people and our resources. And no matter what you set out to do in any organization, we truly believe that here we're going to win with great people. And so how do we build out a strategic blueprint to make sure that we retain, advance, and continue to grow that part of our athletics department while we also grow our resources? And then we look at our marketability, the power of the blue. That's what we really have going for us right now. As you look at our future, we have such a great brand. And so we want to make sure that we continue to pour into that we utilize that brand as a catapult to, become part of larger conversations about what the landscape of college athletics looks like when we talk about conference realignment. And so, and then the really 2 key areas that we really want to focus on are revenue generation, making sure that we continue to grow our resources, grow our season tickets, grow our membership into the Bronco Athletic Association, and ultimately focus on some key facility projects that will align us with some of the national programs. All of those 3 pillars really tie into the most important part, the student athlete experience. Yep. We're here to make sure that we can welcome a young, aspiring professional in sport or in anything unrelated to sport and really give them the best experience possible so that we can change their heart. They can go serve their communities whenever their time here is completed at Boise State. And ultimately, if we can really act in a professional, swift, and confident manner in those 4 pillars over the next 18 to 24 months, I really believe the department's future is in really good hands.
I love the Broncos in community section on the webpage. Anyway, hey, let's talk a little bit about basketball for a minute. So you've been with Boise State for what, 8 months now?
It feels much longer than that, but yeah, I think it's last July. It was like we get here, ready, aim, whatever they say, aim, ready, fire. It was on, but yeah, it's been a journey with men's basketball for sure, a great journey.
Well, and your time with Baylor. So help share with the audience today. I think this is pretty cool. You're part of the national championship teams program as well. Get us up to speed on that, and then transition to being a part of the Boise State's time at the dance this year.
For sure. I think one of the things to explain to the group today is just kind of how departments are set up. You only have one athletic director for 18 sport programs. And so what you see in college athletics is you see sport administration programs. And so the athletic director will designate an individual to sort of be the COO of each particular sport program so that we can be an extension of his vision and really serve those student athletes and coaches. And so I was very fortunate to do that in a secondary role at Baylor University, and what a journey and that was to see that group go from being in the NIT in 2018 to advancing to a national championship. And I know it's hard to say Zags here in the community because it's so close to Spokane. We probably got quite a few people that are connected to the Zags, but to take on what was in our minds Goliath for a national championship game, the Zags were undefeated, I believe, and it was an epic game and an experience that I will never forget. And I believe the things that you can learn through that type of process probably propelled me for this opportunity here at Boise State. And so I serve as that primary sport administration role for men's basketball. And I can remember Coach Rice calling me in July when I first, accepted the position here, and us having very candid conversations about what we needed to do. And we started goal setting together, and it was really neat to be a part of the journey, all the way from meeting our players for the first time in August to going through preseason training to the COVID pause that we had on New Year's Day in Laramie, Wyoming. And then ultimately we had the 14-game winning streak and so on and so forth, to see them cut the nets down twice and set so many school records. And I think for the most part, what we realized is that we really grabbed the hearts of the Boise community, in the men's basketball spectrum. And that's exciting because the more that we can have, beyond just football, because we all know this is a great football town, that will really elevate our athletics department. And I would say, Paul, the most important part of sport administration is serving those student athletes, getting to know those guys and getting to know what their dreams and desires are, where their challenges are, so that we can best position them for success. It was for the first time in my career, this moment where you felt like at the end of the year, you were saying goodbye to some of your kids, and it's going to take some time for me to get used to that, but we're already focused on what's next for the 2022-2023 team, and we're excited.
Hey, I wouldn't want to leave out softball right now. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with that outfit.
Yes, new head coach Justin Schultz, relentless worker. The one thing that I really admire about Coach is he knows how to bring everybody to the table. He brings our entire athletic department, our staff. Everyone has a seat at the table on impacting that program. He's a winner. Yeah. He's a winner, and he has a great vision for that program. And there's we have really good players, and they are on fire right now. And depending on some polls, I can't even keep up with it. I think we're 27 or 28-5 at this point. We're as high as ranked number 23 in the country. We've got a huge weekend series this weekend. It actually starts this afternoon, and then we've got a game tomorrow at 4:00. And then depending on weather and travel, we'll either make a call on doing a doubleheader tomorrow. We'll finish up on Sunday, but it's just beautiful weather. Come out, be a part of that at Donna Larson Park. And there's a lot of season left in college softball, but we've set ourselves up nicely for some success, I believe. And I'm excited to see what Justin can do for the rest of the year.
Well, not to mention it's springtime and it's track and field as well. What's going on there?
Track and field is something I'm not very good at. So it's probably something that Jeremiah would never consider letting me be the sport administrator of. But as you know, we have a world-class cross-country program. That group right now is on the road. They're in Palo Alto. They're at the Stanford Invitational this weekend. So men's and women's track are there, competing against some of the most world-class athletes and sport programs in the country. And so the outdoor season is kind of just getting rolling towards that championship season. And so I'm excited to see what Corey and the rest of the team can accomplish.
I love that. That's kind of my background, track and field. And it just seems like Boise is always recruiting great talent and then executing on that talent, because we've had national champions. I don't even know how many. We should all just go down to the Hall of Fame and get a quick glimpse of the past champions and current champions. Anyway, it's like you said before, it's a legacy organization.
Absolutely.
Hey, you have something coming up this weekend. Yes. Tell us about that.
All of a sudden it feels like football season again, Paul. It's like we look up and we get through basketball, and all of a sudden the weather starts warming up, and we've got some football for next Saturday. So we've got our annual spring game here at Albertson Stadium. It begins at 3:30 p.m. More than likely, we'll have kickoff around 4 o'clock, but we'll have some programming that will start on the field at 3:30 p.m. And it's free for all of our community to come out and enjoy. It'll be beautiful weather. We'll have concessions. We'll have merchandise available for sale. So come on out, be a part of next Saturday's spring football game, and get a first glimpse into what Andy Avalos will have to work with in his second year as head coach of the Broncos.
That's awesome. And one more thing before we close, Cody, you were talking about relationships and relationships with the business community. And why don't you tell us about the announcement yesterday that's going to really be a great addition to the stadium?
So grateful for Melaleuca and all of the individuals that were a part of that rollout yesterday, Mr. Vandersloot and that family, and just, gosh, Cole, I don't know how many people know Cole here locally, but it's just so many incredible people there at Melaleuca. And we were so grateful to announce that they've made a $4.5 million commitment to install the largest video board in our south end zone in the entire Mountain West Conference. And quite honestly, when you look at some of the Power 5 conferences, we're holding our own there as one of the largest video boards in the country. It will be 120 feet by 50 feet wide. It'll be 120 by 50 feet and absolutely massive, 1,800 square feet larger than any other Mountain West program. And ultimately, what we want to do is we want to provide the best experience for our fans and student athletes. And we're going to start the process right now on selecting a partner to actually to pick our board and start the installation process. And it's our hope that for September 17th, when we kick off here for the first time against UT Martin, our fans are oohing and ahhing at a brand new video board in Albertson Stadium.
That's going to be cool. Hey, with just a couple more minutes, is there anything that you'd like to educate the listeners on today while we have you, Cody?
Sure. No, thank you for that. I think we are really dialed in right now in our name, image, and likeness program. To try to give the best summary that I can, because I know we're short on time. Student athletes are now permitted nationally based on state law. So through the NCAA, based on your respective state law, to be compensated for their name, image, and likeness. It's hey, I'm going to promote said company in return for payment, which has never been the case until this past July. And very fortunate for us in the state of Idaho, we do not have a state law. So our actual athletics department can be involved in arranging opportunities for our student athletes. And so we've been hard at work at that. We launched our in-house agency this past November through our new business development and revenue innovation department. And we were actually really proud to announce yesterday that we were nominated amongst 5 other national programs for the best institutional NIL program of the year.
Wow.
And ultimately, our goal is to understand that times are changing. It's a new era, and we want to be adaptive and make sure that we are putting our best foot forward to go back to what we said earlier. The most important pillar of this What's Next initiative within our athletics department is to truly, genuinely, with every effort in our heart, impact our student athlete experience. And if that means helping our student athletes be compensated fairly for their likeness, then that's where we're at. And so I'm really proud of Mike Walsh and Joe Nickel and Nathan Burke on our team for building that program. And we're excited. And we're excited to share with our community on how they can get involved. But, more than anything, we understand there's an educational process that we need to go through, and just really appreciate you allowing me to share that with this group today.
Absolutely. Cody, so wrapping up, we got a spring football game that's going to highlight what's going on at the stadium and some players for next fall. We've got some softball games heading up this weekend, and track and field is down at Stanford, you said, doing some racing. If you're out there and looking for something to do, get on down to Boise State. Let's watch and celebrate and help make some noise for our student athletes competing this spring and as we head into summer. Cody, thanks again for your time. Really appreciate it. I'll look forward to our next conversation.
Paul, thank you so much. Wish you all the very, very best as we head into a weekend. And as always, go Broncos.
Let's go Broncos. All right. Bye.
Take care.